Cuphead is one of my favorite games of all time. To me, it's one of those games where I can play it over and over again the exact same way and still never get bored playing it. And because Cuphead is known for being a pretty difficult game, I decided to start a little series where I rank every boss and every owl based on how difficult the bosses are to me. Now, I could have done this in one video, but I mean, look at the subscriber count. It's all about quantity over quality right now. I need more videos, you feel me? So, my bad. Quick disclaimer though, this ranking is all personalized to how difficult these bosses are to me. If you rate a boss higher or lower, tell me down in the comments down below why you think that way. I need more engagement anyway, so please do what you need to do. Without wasting any more time, let's start with... Out of two bosses, you can pick this one or Koopa Legrand to be your first ever boss in Cuphead. Of course, in saying this is the first boss in the first aisle, so this is pretty much a cakewalk for me. I'm able to beat them in roughly 50 seconds on both the regular and expert mode. I mean, they are truly the perfect starter boss for a person that just started playing Cuphead. It's not too difficult, but not too easy unless if you've been playing it for a pretty long time. I'll give Rupak a 2 out of 5 in difficulty, but it's all really just thanks to me playing the game multiple times and beating it multiple times. I already know their tricks and how to dismantle this boss fight. Koopa Legrand feels like the perfect first boss for Cuphead. It really teaches you to stay on your toes and expect the unexpected, as Koopa Legrand has a lot of variables on what could happen. It could jump higher or lower than you expected, causing you to get hit. He could stall preparing for his next jump longer or shorter than you expected, and especially when he actually attacks, for a first time playthrough, it's something you wouldn't expect. His second phase could also cause you a bit of trouble as his hitbox gets a lot larger, making his arena feel cramped, forcing you, the player, to learn how to adapt to it. It's an absolute perfect starter boss. If I was ranking the boss on that, then I would have given him a 5 out of 5, but I'm not. Due to him being a starter boss, he is so incredibly easy, with me being able to beat him in like sub 50 seconds on regular and just slightly 1 minute in expert mode. For this boss and low key for most of the other bosses in the game, Roundabout is your best friend. All you have to do is hold shoot, run around, and watch as he gets hit from all angles while also switching over to spread shot whenever he stalls or attacks. Overall, incredibly easy, slightly challenging, as he can catch you off guard, causing you to get hit, but overall a 2.5 out of 5 in terms of difficulty. In all 4 hours, including the DLC, there's at least one boss that royally pisses me off due to how annoying and somewhat difficult they are. For this owl, it's Ribby and Croak. I literally have no reason on why they piss me off so much, but they do, despite them being overall pretty easy, especially the first 2 phases where, like I said, with Koopa Legrand, Roundabout is your best friend. For most of the fight, I'm facing the left side of the screen shooting roundabouts while jumping to kill the flies that Croak shoots out, or I'm ducking or jumping over Ribby's Hadokens. For the most part, it's the exact same for the second phase, except now Croak has somehow morphed into a fan while Ribby shoots out either balls you have to dodge or another barrage of his flying fists, if you're in expert mode of course. But then comes the third phase to just come in and ruin the fun. Imagine you're having a perfect run dodging everything, not getting hit once, just for you to get unlucky and land on Tiger to ruin your perfect run streak. That has happened to me multiple times, and I hate this boss for it. But overall, it's not too bad of a boss fight in terms of difficulty, especially after beating the Rupak. Ribby and Croaks is pretty much just a harder version of Rupak with an unnecessary death machine at the end. Overall, it's still a pretty easy fight. You just have to prepare yourself for that final phase. I was able to beat it in about like 1 minute 30 seconds in regular and almost 2 minutes in expert. I even managed to somehow skip the second phase, which is low-key a huge achievement for me. I'll give Ribby and Croak a 2.5 out of 5 in difficulty. Hildeberg is the first flying boss in Cuphead and is the beginning of the end for the really easy bosses in the game. The flying sections of this game are pretty difficult in comparison to the grounded sections, as you are no longer stuck in 2D movement. You are now in 3D, having to dodge so many projectiles in rapid succession, as Hildeberg is highly aggressive and will not give you a break, especially in expert mode where her bullet shooting zeppelins pop up more than ever. I believe Hildeberg is more special than the other bosses in Aisle 1 as compared to everyone else. The difficulty spike of regular and expert mode is very noticeable. In regular mode, it's still very hectic, but it's more relaxed, but in expert mode, you can't even blink. because if you do, you're pretty much dead before you know it. Plus, other than the fact that the green Zeppelins show up more than they did, quite literally forcing you into a bullet hell type situation, she deletes a whole transformation because it was just too easy. In regular mode, Hildeberg will always transform into the bull and then into the two twins or the guy with the bow and arrow if you're unlucky. In expert mode, she completely gets rid of the bull and always transforms into the twins first and then the bow and arrow guy, which are the two most unpredictable phases in this fight. The twins' magical circle that shoots out rapid fire bullets will rotate either clockwise or counterclockwise, and there's no real way of knowing until it's too late and you've gotten hit already. And the stars that the bow and arrow guy shoots with the arrow are pretty much small heat-seeking missiles that follow you no matter where you go for like a good 5 seconds until they fly out and disappear. And due to them being so small, sometimes you won't even be able to hit them, causing you to get hit randomly. The final phase is pretty easy, but it did take me a while to understand how the UFOs work. But after you figure that out, as long as you do it correctly, all you have to worry about are the flying stars that you have to dodge. Overall, Hildeberg is a pretty difficult boss that causes you to definitely stay on your toes at all times. I was able to beat her in roughly about 1:30 in regular and roughly 2 minutes in expert mode. I'll give Hildeberg a 3.5 out of 5 due to the various different variables that may happen during the fight that will mess you up. And finally, for I1 is Cagney Carnation, which probably has the best boss fight in the entire game, which hopefully you should be playing right now if YouTube doesn't decide to strike me down for whatever reason. I believe Cagney Carnation is the best way that could have ended off the starter area, as it is not too difficult where it'll cause you to start ripping out your hair, but not too easy where you could just fall asleep and beat it. Cagney Carnation pretty much ties in everything from the previous bosses and kind of acts like a final test for if you're prepared for what's to come up next. It sticks with the overall theme that the first owl seems to have, where the game teaches you to always be prepared and stay on your toes, as there are countless amounts of things that you have to worry about. Mainly the seeds that he shoots out in the first phase that then sprout into small little piranha plants that are kind of like the stars from the bow and arrow guy from Hildeberg. It's a great fight, has great music, but on regular mode for me personally, it's really easy. I was able to beat the boss in like 50 seconds, and I think if I really tried hard enough, I could slim it down to like sub 40 seconds. But I'm not a speedrunner. Those guys are insane. Have you seen how they play? Like, I remember going and like watching like the speedrunners run, and they beat them in like 30 seconds. I'm like, how are you doing this? But the twist in this is that the expert mode is where the trouble really starts. Just like in Hildeberg, Cagney Carnation sends out a barrage of projectiles that you must dodge or destroy before it's too late and you get hit and lose. Expert mode for Cagney Carnation is one of those ones where you cannot blink at all. So I'll switch it up and give the regular mode and expert mode a different rating in difficulty. I guess I'll give the regular mode a 2 out of 5 and the expert mode a 3.5 out of 5. And that's all for I1, with 5 incredibly made and amazing bosses, with the overall average score for the difficulty of the bosses being 2.6 out of 5. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as you know, there are 3 more hours to go, so please do stay tuned. And I'll see you guys whenever my next video is. See ya.